Good afternoon, folks. This is Hunter Jackson again with Giant Recreation World, Winter Garden, Florida, and happy Friday to everybody out there. Today, I am extremely excited to showcase the all-new floor plan for the Coachmen European Class A lineup. This is going to be the 2026 Coachmen Euro 25 TB, TB standing for twin bed, and I think this may be my new favorite traveling weekend getaway Class A coach. There are so many cool things that are going on the inside that I hope to see in a lot of campers out there here soon, but without further ado, let's get right into it so I can show you. Let's go. Alrighty guys, and just real quick before we get started in today's video, I wanted to share why I chose this particular unit. I've always said that when I inevitably buy a motorhome down the road here, it was going to be a long diesel pusher Class A or a short Class C for traveling. Well, this coach has kind of changed my mind completely, and I'd be super curious to know what you guys think you would be doing with this down in the comments below. Thank you so much again for watching, and let's get right into it. Alrighty guys, and just like normal, let's start off on the front of this 2026 Coachmen Euro 25 TB. Right off the bat, I do want to point your attention to this beautiful front cap here. This is what's going to give it that European style. As you can see, you're going to cut through the wind a little bit easier. It's a little bit shorter than a typical Class A as well, but you don't feel it on the inside. Moving around here though to the front, I do want to draw your attention down to these beautiful LED lights that with the sun behind me you can't see, but at night in the campground you can. Moving off to the side of the coach, first thing that I'm noticing is going to be these aluminum rims down below here. Now you can get these in the blackout variant if you so choose, but moving up from the rims, we've got our little doggy window slash check your blind spot window. But as a double up on this coach, they have included side cameras on both sides of the coach so you can see your blind spots when you turn your turn signal on. Moving out and about, you can see this one's got a full body paint. We've chose the white variant, but there is a gray and a black as well. Being down here in Florida, it makes a little bit of sense. We don't want dark colors going on. Moving down the side of the coach here, I do want to point your attention to our frameless, I call them Florida windows, meaning you can leave them open as long as the rain's not blowing sideways and get a nice little cross breeze going inside your coach. And then moving directly below that, let's check out our first storage compartment here. So pop these two off to the side and check this out. Here over to the right, we do have our inverter going on. And then over to the left, our road vac system, my bad guys. And then this would be a terrific storage compartment, I believe, for some outside camp chairs. It's a little bit longer, but not overly deep. Moving up and around, you can see we've got our full outside TV setup connection area. They have included the bracket from the factory. We've got our power RAN out here, as well as our satellite hookup. And then below that, we're gonna have a little bit of maintenance access to our hydraulic system for our auto level. Moving back and around though, let's go ahead and point out a couple more things. This is going to be the exhaust vent for your furnace down here. Again, another access point. So this is going to allow you to pull your gray or black handle over here. So that way we're keeping the liquid as close to the tank as possible. And then directly below that, we've got an outside LP quick connect for, you know, a grill or smokeless fireplace, all those things that you can plug into propane. One of my favorite features though of this coach is going to be this rear pass-through storage. Check out the amount of space that we get in this entire storage compartment. I'm all the way inside the coach right now, and we've probably got every bit of 3 feet across, maybe 3 feet up. And then on these lips at the edge here, we do have some additional space. And let's keep in mind that this coach is only 28 feet 4 inches tip to tail. This is an amazing weekend getaway coach. You can get into all the state parks, no questions asked. As we move around to the rear here, I want to point out we do have a fully molded fiberglass rear cap. It's going to make your coach look very, very sharp rolling down the road, as well as prevent some of that water intrusion off the rear cap area. Down below here, we do have our tow hitch, which let's check the exact specs because I was doing the math the other day. So they've chose to put a 8,000 pound hitch on the rear here. Fully loaded, you can do 6,000 pounds, but if you took a little bit of weight off the chassis, you could do a little bit more. Over here to the left-hand side, this is gonna be where our stinky slinky port is, although it's a little bit tight right now. Let's see if we can get this going. And this is where the hose would go. And then right above that, we've got a central fuel door. So it's in the back, you can go to the left or the right side of the pump. That's a nice feature to have on a big motorhome. Moving around to the side, we're gonna see the other side of our pass-through storage here. So if you didn't believe me before, there it is, fully passing through. Up above here, you can see our aluminum framing. That's something that would be obvious kind of on a coach like this. But moving out, I always like pointing out this feature. We've got all of our water connections right here, easy peasy for you. So you can take one hose in and white pipe them together. This is gonna be your satellite connection. We do have a hot cold shower to rinse out your stinky slinky hose and a couple more access panels. Up above here, our Furrion on-demand tankless hot water heater. Again, no surprise that this is an on-demand system. And then this is gonna be where our power is located. Shout out Jackery for keeping me up and running. Over to the side here though, wanna point out we've got a fully laminated slide box on a slim rack system. This slide is gonna house, what do you call it, the theater seating inside, which I'm super excited to show you. And then underneath here, you can see they finished it off very, very nicely. Let's move over to the side here, because I do wanna point out the type of generator that would be on this particular unit, which is gonna be a 5.5 kilowatt Yamaha NPS inverter generator. Let's go ahead and swing out a little bit more, get one more look at this beautiful outside body paint, and a quick look at the option that we've put on, which would be a slide topper that helps keep the sun off the slide. But check it out, the 2026 Coachmen 25 TB. All right guys, now let's check out the inside of the Euro 25 TB. This is where this coach is really shining in my opinion. They've got quite a few things going on. Right as we walk in, we've got a couple controls on the inside. We've got our inverter, a step light, our step in and out control, as well as our 12-volt disconnect. But moving up, and let's go ahead and get you your first looks of the Coachmen 25 TB. Check this out. Want to swing us all the way around. We'll work front to back here. Up here on the front, again, this is on the Ford F53 chassis. This is a true Class A. Both of these seats are going to swivel around, giving you seating for four very, very comfortably in this coach. And then this is on the 7.3 liter V8 Godzilla engine. Checking out the front here, we've got most of our standard controls you'd be used to seeing in a gas Class A. Our auxiliary start, generator starts, fog lights, map lights, sun visors, the whole 9 yards. The big feature up here in the front though, I think is gonna be this huge head unit going on here. So this is gonna be, I think a little bit more than 10 inches on the head unit for the size of the screen. It is a full smart head unit. You can do your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It even has the YouTube app installed. Moving around to the side here though, I wanna point out my favorite feature ever. I hope I see this in every coach coming out. Check this out. This is our theater seating, and let me do a quick demonstration on how this works. All right, this is what I would call the triple whammy type of setup. So this is our theater seating, but also functions as our dinette, also can function as a third bed here. So when you pull up to the coach, directly across from me, you can't see it, is the TV. Both people can see it, no problem. But here off to the side, these are gonna be powered theater seating wherever the button is to be able to kick your feet out during the evening time. But right before that, you're probably gonna have some dinner. So you're gonna be swinging around, hitting your table. But hey, my back doesn't have a whole lot of support. Well, Coachmen thought of that too. We've got a little lever off here to the side, which will slide this rear piece up, giving you much better support if you needed to do some work from home. And then the third feature of this, which it's still semi in development, but this portion is fully functioning. We're just gonna need to figure out where we're gonna put our center cushion. So this bed can drop down. You could put a cushion here in the middle and then have a third bed all the way across. But a cool idea that I heard from one of the people that happened to stop by is putting a dog bed here, and now we've got seating for mom and dad and our furry friend that we brought along with us. I think this is an awesome design. I hope to see this in almost every camper that comes out. The 3-in-1 setup that they figured out here is muy bueno, very, very good. Now moving above this theater seating setup up here, we do have plenty of storage. This is gonna be on like a airline style storage compartment trays. I like that we've let it pass through here in the middle. However, we've got these little lips here to keep everything from sliding to one side or the other. And we've even got some power ran up here. So I think this would be a spot if you wanted to put in like an Xbox. We can see we've got some wiring that goes over to the TV dead across from us. Now you know I'm not lying to you. Which is a really, really cool feature to have. These type of storage compartments are a little bit fancier, schmancier, and I dig it. Swinging away from the theater seating though, let's check out our kitchen type of design or setup. Down here below, our first storage compartment is gonna house everything. So we've got our trash can, we've got a recycling bin, and we also have a little caddy to put some soaps and get them out super, super easy. This is a pretty cool little idea. Kind of unique. I haven't seen this type of styling before. And then right above that, we've got a little spot for our spice rack. You can see they've got beautiful accent lighting going around our solid surface countertops. And then moving up, we've got a nice deep, let me get that out of the way for us, stainless steel sink with our sprayer nozzle up above. We've got plenty of countertop space here in the middle to put a coffee pot, an air fryer, something of that nature. And then we've got our power RAN with USB-C, USB-A, and 2 110 ports. Right above the power here, I like to point out the feature of these frameless windows. If you haven't seen one of my videos before, this is going to be our bug screen style setup. And then right above that is our blackout shade, which is really cool. And on the back side of that blackout shade is going to be a Reflectix material that helps keep all the sun outside the RV. Moving over, we do have a few drawers for our different kitchen utensils here. And these are a thicker plywood drawer. They are stapled on the edge though, which is worth pointing out. Down below, we've got a nice deep drawer for some taller items here, maybe an air fryer, your Keurig, or things like that. And then just below that, all new to the 2026s, is going to be an on, or what do they call it, the road vac system. So you've got a vacuum in your coach. You don't have to take up space with a little Swiffer vac here. Moving up, you can see we've got more storage compartments up here and additional spice racks. They know you're going to be cooking in this one. Nice and deep and a little bit taller than the ones that are above the dinette there. And then to the right of that, we've got a beautiful, what do you call these things? Hood vent, that's right, hood vent up above our induction cooktop here. Below the induction, we do have our Furrion air frying microwave, which is very, very cool. Saves a little bit of space. You don't have to include an oven as well. And then below here would be where I anticipate you putting your different air frying utensils to go right up into your microwave. Moving up, we do have a 10 cubic foot GE refrigerator here. Let me back up a little bit so you can see the spacing going on. Plenty of space in the refrigerator. And then this freezer door, rather than pulling out, also swings out. I kind of dig the design because we've got 2 more drawers in here, making it so you don't have to dig around in your freezer. And then directly across from this refrigerator setup is going to be our restroom area, which on a coach of this size, don't expect the Taj Mahal of bathrooms, but it definitely gets the job done. Right off the bat, let's go ahead and check out the storage we've got going on in here. And there is plenty of space to put a small trash can, as well as additional cleaning or toilet paper, things that are going to go in the restroom area. Moving up, I dig the amount of counter space we've got in a small restroom like this. We've got plenty of space if you wanted to put some different hair products. And then above that, we're gonna have our medicine cabinet here. So check this out. A little bit deeper than you're probably typically accustomed to. I would say every bit of probably 5 or 6 inches deep on this cabinet, meaning you can fit more things in a smaller amount of space. And then to the left of our sink setup is gonna be our macerated toilet here. This is gonna grind up any of the waste before sending it over to your holding tanks. It makes dumping a little bit easier and kind of makes sense on this coach. It's also a higher end feature. As you can see, we've got a beautiful shower setup here with our 3 glass doors, something that makes it feel a little bit more homey. But let's go ahead and check out the headroom in here, which I have plenty. So this is always a problem for me, but I've got space above my head here. The nozzle is at a comfortable height. On the, width of the shower, just fine. A little bit more narrow, but it gets the job done, and it's kind of what I expected in a coach of this size. We'll put the dimensions for the shower down below so you guys can kind of imagine it there at home. Let's go ahead and swing us back around so we can check out our master bedroom setup. So coming out of the restroom and turning to the right before we get into the bedroom, I do want to point out we've got actually a huge amount of pantry storage here on a sliding door, and I like that they've backed one side of it, preventing your stuff from going that way when you're driving forward. Very cool idea, Coachmen. And then next to our pantry setup is going to be our small closet in this coach. So this is a weekend getaway. You can fit plenty of clothes for a week at a time. We've got our hanging racks up here, and then down below would probably be where you'd add in a couple of shelving units. And then check it out. This is why they call it the TB, the twin bed setup. On each side, we've got a bed, and then this middle part can pull out, creating a full king size bed, or it may be even a little bit bigger than a traditional king size bed here in the back of the coach. Let's go ahead and move up and point out our second AC system. This is a 50 amp coach, so you get 2 on board. Plenty of cooling going on. On each side of the bed, we do have windows that open up. So these are the Florida style twist windows. And then over to the right hand side is going to be our emergency exit. We go ahead and jump up in the bedroom area though, so you can see what I'm looking at. Directly across from the beds, we've got a nice sized TV if you guys want to watch a movie before bed. You can see we've got our connection points up here already plugged in. Plenty of space on this shelving unit that goes all the way around. Up above the bed though, let me spin around here. We've got that same style cabinet dooring with our pass-throughs here in the middle. And then below these open and closing cabinets, we've got a spot for a CPAP machine. So check it out. We've got 110 up above, USB-A, USB-C. This is going to be your centralized hub for all of your charging needs. Again, on the other side of the coach, lots of space to put any extra, t-shirts, drawers, socks, all those kinds of things. And then what's going on in here? Just a small little compartment door. I don't know what you'd put in there. Let's go ahead and swing out and move towards the front of this coach. Alrighty guys, and moving towards the front, I want to give you one more look of the 2026 Coachmen Euro 25 TB, and I hope you can see why this is going to be one of the best traveling Class A motorhome coaches on the market. Alrighty guys, and just like normal, thank you to everybody who has made it this far in the video. It truly means a lot to me. We'll see how it turns out, because I don't know if you can notice, I am sweating like a pig. I have no idea how my words came out over the past hour or so. We try to do this in one take if possible. So I was very excited to showcase this unit today. It totally changed my mind on going the short Class A route. I always had it, pinned up in my brain that if I bought a motorhome, it would be a super long diesel pusher or a super short Class C. This would be the one for me right now though. This is an excellent traveling coach. Take it over to the beach, take it up in the mountains. You've got plenty of power. You can get into all the parks. There's just a lot to talk about. So thank you so much again for watching. If you're interested in any other Forest River, Thor, or Keystone products, drop a comment down below. Leave me a like, whatever you want to do. If I earned it, thank you so much, and we'll see you next Friday. Later.